What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. It's time for another platformer series to talk about, honestly, and I think it's only fitting I bring this up into the conversation. Rayman. That's right, everybody. We're going to be talking about Rayman. I've wanted to make a video on this character for quite some time. I've made several videos on, like, Mario Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, which we'll talk about that during the video. But this video is mostly going to be talking about the main series of Rayman games, in my opinion, because if I made like a whole goddamn history of Rayman, it would be like a long video, and I'm sure there's already a video out there with a bunch of views out there that showcases the history of Rayman. But this video, we're mostly going to be talking about the main game series, and also the weird era of Rayman, so it's going to be a long one, so yeah. First off, we have to talk about who the heck is Rayman? What even is Rayman, honestly? You have all these video game character mascots that are some sort of type of animal, but Rayman is weird. He has no arms or legs, and like I don't know. It's one of those characters like you don't know what Rayman really is, but that's why he really sticks out and why a lot of people's favorite video game mascots. And yeah, we're gonna talk about the very first game now. This is the first Rayman game ever, so you know nothing's going to be perfect, but hey, this one is a pretty game. You adventure through different dreams and locations called the Glade of Dreams. You have to basically save the whole valley and you get different collectibles, and you get these eggplants that you use, and different abilities that you use throughout your adventure, and we gotta talk about that iconic Rayman victory theme. Yeah! It's so good, honestly. So yeah, honestly, while the first game definitely has its problems because, well, it's an old game, it's still a really good game. Really solid game. And also, Rayman Redemption, it's right there. It's basically the best way to play Rayman 1. It's crazy that we have a fan-made version of what's pretty much the best way to play Rayman 1, because it shows you get all your abilities, it shows all the directions to the collectibles, because you need most of them just to get to the final boss. So yeah, it's definitely I definitely recommend, if you ever want to play Rayman 1, definitely get Redemption. It's probably the easiest one to get into, honestly, because this game can be brutal. I mean, it's an old game, you know what you're expecting, but yeah, Rayman 1, Redemption specifically, is a pretty solid time, honestly, so yeah. Next up we're going to be talking about is Rayman 2, and I'm just going to say right now, this is one of the best 3D platformers of all time. Like, I'm serious. When I played this game again, just to prepare for this video, I was like, oh yeah, this game is a banger, honestly. It's an old 3D platformer. I love these old 3D platformers. They always got that charm to it, and it's such a good game. You gotta play it. This better be released on modern consoles, hopefully the time that's recording, honestly. And yeah, it's a 3D platformer with robot pirates involved. Pirates? Huh, a sequel with pirates. Where have I seen that before? It's not the most perfect game in the world. I kind of found the swimming controls to be a little weird, but once you get used to them, it's really fun to control, honestly. And, you know, using your abilities, exploring the 3D beautiful locations, and the charm of the characters, the soundtrack, sound effects, yeah, it's all there, honestly. This released on the N64, which I did play this on because I'm a sucker for N64 3D platformers, and PS1, which I heard doesn't look the greatest from what I've heard, or I don't know, one of the versions wasn't the greatest, honestly. There is a Dreamcast version, which I hear is the best version, honestly, which it does have a hub world, so I guess you can go with that version. And then, of course, was there anything else? Oh yeah, PlayStation, it was like PlayStation, like, portable, that's also what it was, so yeah. I don't got much else to say. It's just it's a linear 3D platformer, mind you, so it definitely does. I don't mind whatever is linear, open zone 3D platformer, sandbox style. I am all in for 3D platformers. So this was a charming, fun time. I don't got much else to say other than, yeah, Rayman 2 is awesome. Go play it. Probably my favorite Rayman game, honestly. Alright, next up we move on to is Rayman 3. So, yes, Rayman 3 has always got to be one of those games I need to play this one again, but I did play this one for sure, and I honestly really enjoy it, honestly. Now, this is a different type of how this one is handled compared to Rayman 2, because the controls are very similar, of course, with your extra moves and stuff like that, but now we have a score system. where you're basically trying to do combat and try to get a high score and try to get 5 stars in a lot of levels. So yeah, that's pretty much what the game is. The adventure's still mostly like, you know, save Glorbox, basically. Glorbox is goated, by the way. Glowbox, if I said that correctly. Yeah. And overall, I think I still slightly prefer 2. I can see some people... I can still see why some people prefer 3, honestly, but I don't know. I think I vibe with 2 a little more, but Rayman 3 is still a really good game. You can't go wrong with any of the any ones in the trilogy, per se, honestly, so, yeah. But, what is it with the 3rd in the entry sometimes being divisive, kinda? I don't know, it's weird. Either way, Rayman 3 is still a good game. I just slightly prefer 2 a little more. Maybe I just prefer the platforming there compared to 3. But it's still a good game. I definitely recommend checking it out, so yeah. Alright, next game we have, at least in the mainline series, is Rayman Origins. Rayman went on dormant for a while, but he was back in action on the Nintendo Wii and released on other systems with Rayman Origins. I remember having this game growing up, and oh my god, yeah, it's amazing, honestly. A 2D platformer, a banger 2D platformer. When talking about banger 2D platformers, you can't get better than Rayman. Well, Donkey Kong exists, but still. But yeah, Rayman Origins is a banger 2D platformer with great controls, fun level design, a style that really looks nice, and music, oh man, it's just that good. It's understandable why people love this game as one of the best 2D platformers, honestly. And I gotta say, it's a really good one. I really gotta play this game again, but I still remember liking this one. It has a charm to it, and it's really good, honestly. Like, you can't go wrong with this. This is how you really bring back an old favorite character, honestly. And it's just like, oh my god, Rayman Origins is a really good one. I'd be here all day discussing a lot with this, but just know, play Rayman Origins. It's amazing. So yeah. And now we have the somewhat final game of the the mainline Rayman stuff, is Rayman Legends. This has got to be a 2D platformer you see endless praise over for good reasons, honestly. This was one of the first Switch games I got. This was an early Switch game, mind you. I think I got the definitive edition of Rayman Origins, but it's been released on several other platforms for a while now, and yeah, this game is amazing. I've seen some people compare this to Origins, and I guess I can see why some people will like Origins more, because, well, there's a bunch of content into Legends, and especially brings back some levels from Origins, honestly. Now, this could be both a good and bad thing. Having more content can whether or not mean it's a better game or not, but I generally do love Legends, honestly. There were the Murphy levels that you played through, which are basically these auto kind of levels where Murphy shows up sometimes and you have to press a button. I think that was one of the cases why some people wouldn't like Legends. That's why the Definitive Edition specifically shines, in my opinion. It doesn't really ruin the experience for me. Even I can understand why some people like Origins more. I guess Origins does feel more as an actual adventure game compared to Legends, but I don't know. I don't really have an issue with Legends, honestly. They're both amazing games. You should really play both of them. It would be dumb to kind of compare them in negative ways, really. So, yeah. Alright, now we talk about the weird situation with Rayman right here. So, let's get the obvious out of the way, the rabbits. So, I'm gonna say right now, I actually don't hate the rabbits. Like, back then, I didn't really have much an opinion on them, honestly. And I'm sure Rayman Raving Rabbids is a decent game and all, which I gotta play through, but I don't know, like, there was always this time of, like, rabbits there's always this thing of rabbits taking over Rayman and making the rabbits the mascot more than Rayman. There was always kind of those stuff going on, and that's where the situation with Ubisoft comes in. I'm not even gonna mention anything with Ubisoft, because there's been a lot of weird stuff lately. This is not the place for that. I'm sure there's stuff out there on Google, so yeah, just letting you know right now. But there's been some cases that the rabbits would take over, and they would get games as much, but Rayman is always left in the shadows. But recently, as of recent events, things have been aligning, honestly. Rayman has mostly been on mobile games, and yeah, and sometimes he gets cameos in other games. And even the show, we even got in a show, this particular, I'm not even gonna show the whole show, but like, you gotta watch it. It's wild, honestly. I have to remember what it's called, but yeah, it's this show. And then, of course, Rayman got a Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC. Definitely one of the biggest surprises. I mean, some people would rather have Mario Rayman crossover, which, man, that would have been awesome, but hey, it's something for Rayman, you know. And then as of recently, at the time now, I really didn't think Ubisoft was gonna do this. But first, since this is the 30th anniversary of Rayman, I know I'm like weeks, maybe a month late the time of this recording, but better late than never. They confirmed a Rayman project in development. Like the fact they just confirmed it is crazy, honestly. Like it's something, but yeah, Rayman will be back in action in the near future. They said that not to expect anytime soon, but there's been talk of a potential remake of a Rayman game coming up. And like, dude, if they don't screw this up, Rayman might be back in the limelight as one of the top gaming mascots now. Like, it's generally crazy that Rayman has this weird up and down kind of history. So, yeah. But regardless, no matter what happens, Rayman will always be my GOAT. I honestly think he's my second favorite platformer series. My favorite being Donkey Kong, of course. So, yeah. I said a lot about Rayman. I didn't make a whole history about it, but yeah, you know, it's long enough, right? Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I just wanted to make a video on Rayman because Rayman's awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. What's your favorite Rayman game? Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks. Show the way to